like that. And we've all just gone, crikey, what the hell was that? And then you turn round and there's Syd lying on the floor.
It was one of the worst injuries ever seen on a cricket field.
I was upset because I'd never heard my big mate, scream like that before.
It stopped in its tracks the career of Syd Lawrence, who made cricketing history by becoming the first British-born black player to play for England.
He had that mentality, didn't he? Whatever he did, he just wanted to succeed.
What happened next is the story of a man who never gave up, creating a legacy that has to be seen to be believed.
When I think I've cracked it, Patsy, it's all in the wrist.
No one was really using celebrities or sports personalities to co-present stuff or present stuff. So it was a bit of a risk.
Go on, Syd. Go on, Syd. He was 50, 51 when he first competed. He would just shadow him.
We want to see more kids coming from state schools and going on to making it.
It's great to see a Gloucestershire lad back as president of the club that he played for. Syd, we wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you very much.
This is the story of a man who never backed down from a challenge, even when all the odds were against him.
This disease, you gotta be brave. And you have got to be brave. Because it's bloody scary.
Gloucester in the west of England. In the 1960s, it's a small city with a growing Caribbean community. And among them is Joe and Hilda Lawrence, newly married and starting their family.
It was hard for them at the beginning, even getting somewhere to live. And my mum used to say, on the doors, they knocked the doors and they said, no blacks, no Irish and no dogs.
In 1965, Dave Valentine Lawrence, lovingly known as Syd, was born, completing Joe and Hilda's family of 5 children.
Fun times, a lovely family.
Noisy. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
You know, three sisters, 2 brothers. So, there was always something happening in the house.
He used to pretend to bowl in the streets. Did he not? He smashed a couple of windows, neighbours' windows.
With his fast bowling.
Yeah, with his fast bowling.
You know, Dad pushed him quite hard because he loved cricket, my dad. So that was a game we just played in the garden a lot. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't want to, we were playing as girls, you know.
From that garden cricket, Syd starts to venture into the men's game. First with Gloucester City and then with the Bristol West Indians. The boy from Tredworth is starting to make a name for himself as a fearsome young fast bowler.
I've probably known Syd, since we were 11 or 12, and we would play youth cricket with each other and against each other, which was interesting. And but he was a lot. I always thought he was older than me because I was down here and he was up there. And I actually found out, I've realised recently that I'm slightly older, and I didn't know because at the time I always thought he was older than me because he was like 2 foot higher. So he was a big guy in those days, and he bowled quick. He bowled really quick, and at youth level, I mean, I can still see games, youth games, under 13s, under 15s, the opposition absolutely terrified walking to the wicket.
Syd was just an absolute bundle of energy, and I think everyone will say the same thing, that when you talk about Syd Lawrence and his bowling, he was just this rolling ball of energy and effort. Noisy as he ran into bowl, puffing, wheezing, whistling one year I seem to remember, but everything resulting in this massive leap and sort of climax at the crease as he literally hurled himself into every ball.
In 1981, that pace eventually gets Syd a place in the Gloucestershire first team.
He was a breath of fresh air in some ways, and in other ways he was a bit of a pain at the backside. He came in all guns blazing. He's lived his life on the front foot, and it was no different here. It must have been a massive move for him to come from Gloucester and playing club cricket into a professional setup. He was a wild young man who upset the apple cart now and again, and especially in his first few weeks here, it's no secret that he got arrested a couple of times, and it was Tony Brown, the club captain and a legend of Gloucestershire, who got him out of the police cell, and a few days later took him down to Taunton to see Viv Richards, and Viv sat him in a room for an hour and told Syd what to do and not what to do, and it completely changed Syd's life.
I think he was pretty a rookie then, and I think they had some issues with him, maybe knowing of his potential, just wanted someone to be in his ears, and I remember I did that, and I can remember after a few years he would come and say thank you, which I really appreciate.
The pair would meet again in 1991, when Syd became the last bowler to take Sir Viv's wicket. But that encounter with the West Indian legend changed the course of Syd's career, creating a fierce determination to reach the top of the game.
Well, there's a funny story behind the call-up. We had been invited to our best friend's secret wedding in London, and a taxi driver called out, like, hey, you know, like, well done or something like that. And we were like, gosh, how does he know who you are? And we came home the next day, and because we didn't have mobile phones then, Dave had a call from his mum and said, where have you been? England have been trying to get hold of you. You've been selected to play for England.
He got into the England side. We made our debuts together, which was a special day because we always said when we were little that we would have a Court Russell bowled Lawrence for England. We played our test debuts together at Lord's. So there's these two kids, little kids, 11, 12, 13, and now making their debut for England. So that was always a special moment for us.
We became sort of friends when we then toured New Zealand. We were roommates as well for England a couple of times, and I had so many laughs, you know what I mean? Because it was very, you know, it's a pressurised situation. You know, you're playing for your country and you want to do well, and you know there's crowds and everything, and you are under pressure, you know. But we'd always then sort of go back to the room and have a laugh.
From a commentator's perspective, Syd was gold dust because he just got something going on all the time. Just this vision of this enormous man, sort of shirt busting open, sweating, trying 150% every ball, and there he is tearing in, trying to get something often out of nothing.
By 1992, Syd Lawrence was a firm favourite within the England cricket setup. The fast bowler was now beginning to reach his full potential. But during the last day of a dead test match at Wellington in New Zealand, the unthinkable happened.
I was fielding at mid-off, I think, so I was right by him. And it was just like, you've never heard anything like it in your life.
You can still hear the noise of his kneecap cracking. And if you bang two cricket bats together very loudly next to your ear, that was the sound, which I can still hear.
The game was dead. There was nothing in the match at all. And it was just typical of Syd that he was still running in as if he just needed one wicket to win the game. He was just giving absolutely everything. And he ran and he bowled this ball, and I could hear a crack. Crack. What's that? And the next thing, he's lying on the ground, and I could hear him beating the ground with his fist, and he was screaming in agony.
He was screaming. If you listen to the replays, and he was literally, yeah. And I was upset because I'd never heard my big mate, you know, scream like that before.
Devastating, yeah, devastating. For him and the whole family as well, yeah. It wasn't great because, you know, we automatically thought his career had ended there
completely.
and then. You know, and Dave wasn't a crier, and to see him cry in pain, that must have hurt.
The arrivals board at Gatwick finally signalled the end of a long and anxious wait for the families of the two cricketers. But this was hardly the way they would have wanted to return. Lawrence limping slowly, his left leg in a splint, two pieces of metal holding his kneecap together. Russell, despite playing in all three tests, just not wanted by the selectors.
Blimey, I saw him at the airport on crutches. I couldn't believe it because I didn't think I would see him for months. You know, I thought he'd be in hospital with his leg up. And I I get to the airport and he's there 3 days later and he's there on his crutches, and it was great to see him, you know. But that was Syd, that was him. He wasn't going to be left over in New Zealand and missed a flight. He was going to get on the plane with us.
For Lawrence, the reunion with girlfriend and new baby son helped to erase the memories of the agony that he'd suffered in Wellington.
It's lovely to see him looking so well as well.
I had just had a baby, and we were thinking, oh my gosh, this is wonderful, you know, you're playing for England, that's what you've always wanted to do. And he was so determined he was going to get back playing again. His focus was like completely on his rehab and training and everything. So it was hard. It was hard for all of us. You know, you didn't get much of a look in, sorry love, for a couple of months. Made up for it.
You made up for it.
Both men are fighters, and they've already set their targets for the new season. Russell aims to get back in the England team. Lawrence just wants to bowl again.
Obviously, the first ball is going to probably be the hardest ball, that, you know, psychologically, because you know, the memories of the pain what I suffered when I put my foot down, that's going to be in the back of my mind, and probably that's going to be the hardest ball, you know, I'm going to have to bowl in my career.
Never want to back down, Syd was confident he could return to his best. But more disappointment lay ahead.
Making up our team tonight, a Gloucester lad with the broadest grin in cricket. Despite shattering his left kneecap on the eve of England's challenge for the World Cup, please give a particularly Walwinkle and give a little cheer at home to David Syd Lawrence.
Now back at home, all eyes are focused on whether Syd would ever return to cricket.
David, Gloucester and England will be keeping their fingers crossed to know when you seriously think you'll be back playing first-class cricket.
Very difficult now. I asked the surgeon that the other day, and he said to me, I said July I would like to be playing. He said it's good to have targets. So
good man.
I don't know what that meant.
Oh, yes.
Well, he always thought it was quite cruel, and the guys who ended up playing for cricket for England, bowling, fast bowling, at the time, he didn't think that they were as good as him. I can remember saying to him at one time, you've got to take it easy and rest. And he said, no, that's just for ordinary people.
David Lawrence is putting his feet up after the trials of Test cricket in New Zealand. But it also means time to reflect on the disappointments. The X-rays revealed the worst, a broken kneecap, now held together with wire and a support.
You know, nobody had seen an injury like that before, so we didn't know how long that was going to take. But you know, we'd hoped, fingers crossed, that he would come back and still bowl quick.
What a lot of people forget is, when he actually got injured, he was right at the top of his game. He was playing for England, performing well, and he's right at the top, and suddenly he's taken away from him. He could have gone completely to pot, in all honesty, but what he did, he rolled his sleeves up and got on with it, and he wanted to prove a point that he could come back from it.
He was in the gym one day, and the knee went again, and he drove himself from the gym to St Mary's Hospital and said, my knee's gone again, I need something else doing to it. So this time they bolted it together.
So it could be a few months yet before we see Lawrence in the lightning form that bowled out England captain Graham Gooch last season.
The injury also meant Syd had to take early retirement from breakdancing.
All smoochy-roochy for me from now on. I won't be spinning on my knees or anything like that now. It'll be all the slow stuff.
With time, thoughts of getting back to the professional game were slipping away. Syd Lawrence, the cricketer, was now looking for a new adventure.
Nice looking veg.
And what's this, Patsy? How do you cook it?
It's terribly complicated, Syd. You'd never understand.
Hello. I can't think of a better way to start the programme right next to the food.
The idea was we would go around lots of different locations in the West Country, you know, showcasing how beautiful the part of the world is that we live in. So they were quite bold and decided to go for Syd.
The Three Musketeers did it. Errol Flynn did it. And as a kid, I've always wanted to do it. And I'm going to have some lessons on it. So why not join me now? OK, Sean, here I am.
No one was really using celebrities or sports personalities to co-present stuff or present stuff. So it was a bit of a risk, you know, because we knew he could bowl at 90 miles an hour, but we didn't know whether he could walk and talk in front of a camera. But it turned out he could.
He really enjoyed it. He would have liked to have done a lot more and gone further with that.
I've seen lots of clips, but I don't remember any of it really live. No, but I've seen enough of it, and I know he's quite a character. He seems to come alive when he got in front of a camera. He wasn't shy, that is for sure.
Everything took a little bit longer. There were a lot of retakes. There was a lot of laughter. There was a lot of banter. And also, of course, he was such a recognisable character wherever we went. So people would come and say hello to him. They'd want his autograph. You know, they'd want to talk cricket with him. And of course, he was absolutely up for doing that.
Yeah, a wicked sense of humour.
He did, and he used to love telling jokes and then laughing at himself, didn't he?
Before he finished the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, he hadn't even finished the joke and he'd start laughing.
For all the things people saw or didn't see, he always had a love for life and a love for people, and you could see that around the people that he cared about and wanted to be with.
With his popularity still high, Syd decided to capitalise on something new.
All he'd ever wanted to be was a cricketer, but he thought, oh, I might go into the hospitality world, and bought himself a book on how to open a business and open Boom Wine Bar.
And welcome, Boom Wine Bar, David Lawrence, Syd Lawrence, known as Syd.
You know, it had the lovely double doors at the front that used to open out, jazz on a Sunday. It was really quite unique for Bristol at the time, and then decided he wanted something else, wasn't it? Another challenge. So he got Dojo nightclub then.
He had me working in there from about 15, 16. When I was about 18, he ushered me down to work behind the bar. So I think I worked in there probably for about 14 odd years.
He fronted it. He was there so many hours. He just really, really works very hard at what he wants to do. I mean, he just worked. He worked and worked.
For Syd to run this business and build it and build a brand that he did was amazing. It doesn't happen by accident. He's a very astute guy, Syd Lawrence. He was nobody's fool at all.
And if that wasn't enough, in between businesses, he also tried to make one last return to the professional game.
If Syd looked a little nervous taking the field today in the friendly with Sussex, he had every right to be. His horrific knee injury would have been enough to put most professionals off even thinking about making a comeback.
Did you ever think that this day would ever come again?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I'm one of these guys who are very confident in what I'm going to do. And okay, when I retired 2 years ago, I thought that was it. But you know, it's a great opportunity now. It's a great dream that I thought that would never happen. But that just shows you that you can never give up.
I think Syd would have had a long England career. It could always have ended with a nasty injury because of his size and because of the way that he bowled and because of the effort that he put in. And it's just really sad that that was how it turned out.
He relied on physical effort to propel this stupid little bloody cricket ball down the other end as fast as you can, and and that was taken away from him. But he still got back. He got back somehow.
But just after 4 appearances for Gloucestershire, it was clear Syd's knee would never be the same. And this time, his exit from the game, at least as a player, would be permanent.
He would have gone through some very, very tough times about that. Well, I know I certainly would have, and he didn't really speak about it to me, and I didn't particularly press about it, but he got on with it and went and did something else,
Never one to sit still, Syd's next challenge was quite extraordinary.
Go on, Syd. Go on, Syd.
At the age of 50, he decided to become a professional bodybuilder, and like most things in his life, he wanted to be the best.
He reached the highest level he could.
Yeah.
In Britain, he won Mr. Britain, I believe.
He
won Mr. Britain, but his upper body was so so when he would stand on stage, and you got to take into his ages, because when he was, I think he was 50, 51 when he first competed. 51-year-old guy, massive compared to another 51. He would just shadow him.
he used to make me smile because he wasn't frightened of giving it a go. And if he wanted to be a bodybuilder, he was going to do it. You know, and if he wanted to tattoo people's heads at the brow fringe, he was going to do it. And if he wanted to nightclub, he was going to do it. And so I wasn't surprised at what he did.
It was just incredible what he put his mind to. He would just do it. Very, very strong-minded, strong-willed. I mean, the first time we saw him on stage, wasn't it? I mean, couldn't actually believe that was him up there. He worked so hard in the gym, but then the diet really got to him because he liked his food, and he would just be having chicken and broccoli, steamed.
Say it how it is, man.
Oh my God, he was so
that first time
miserable.
he did it, wow.
It was almost like we wanted to leave the house, didn't we?
Oh God, yeah, you know what you're
for
like
three
when you,
months, just leave him on his own for 3 months.
Yeah, you know what you're like when you one day of being hungry. Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine 3 months of being hungry.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
He was.
He
didn't enjoy that.
No, he didn't. He wasn't a happy person.
So it was worth it at the end for him.
You look at him, you think, wow, he's massive. Never judge a book by its cover. He's massive. Do you know what I mean? And when he's training, he's loud, making all these crazy noises. And the next thing I know, he's helping out a 19-year-old lad who's just started bodybuilding, and they're training together. Do you know? And I think that's where you're never going to get like how he was. And these guys didn't know he was a famous cricket player.
The day cricket hung its head in shame. For a long time, no one listened to Azeem Rafiq. Now everyone is.
In 2020, cricket came under the spotlight as Yorkshire player Azeem Rafiq spoke out against the racism he faced at the club, telling MPs that the game was institutionally racist.
There was comments such as, "You lot sit over there near the toilets," elephant washers, the word was used constantly.
Since those revelations, the English Cricket Board say significant progress has been made to make the game more inclusive and to tackle discrimination. Although for Syd, Azeem Rafiq's comments stirred painful memories from his own playing days.
He was very aware that not everybody out there liked big black fast bowlers, and he was well aware of the situation with his colour. But yeah, it's well known and it's documented that there was an incident within a club with our own people here where one night on a away trip, it was supposed to be a joke, but obviously it's not funny, but someone put a banana outside Syd's room. Now Syd's reaction to that was aggression. He certainly didn't want anyone to know that he was hurt the way he was hurt. But I talked to him a lot and it hurt him deeply.
Syd would have felt that. You know, he was a tender, emotional man for all, again, the size and the hostility and the aggression and the big man bowling fast. He was a very soft-centred man. That would have hurt him. But as so many cricketers did at that time, I guess he kind of took it on the chin and moved on and hoped that times would get better.
He didn't talk about the difficulties. He was just striving to be a cricketer. That was his dream, and that's what he went for. He didn't tell us, the things that were not so good in there. It was always he was doing really well, So it's quite sad to hear that those things happened to him, and we didn't know about it,
By 2022, cricket was trying to change its image, and Syd was given the chance to be front and centre, with Gloucestershire Cricket Club offering the opportunity for him to become the first black president of a professional English cricket club.
What you want is that it's an equal playing field for everybody. I'm going to Lord's tomorrow. You can't get more English than Lord's. I'll see people of colour there, but they'll be serving food.
The presidency was a godsend for him, and I said that Syd won me a lot. I had a phone call from him 7 o'clock one morning, and he said, "Brass, nobody knows, but the club had just asked me to be the president. What do you think?" He says, "Because I don't think I'm going to accept it, because everyone will say I'm the president because I'm a black man." I said, whoa, hold on, let's just break this down a minute. Local boy from Gloucester, play for your county, play for your country, successful business person, a role model for so many people out there. Said he didn't mind if you're pink or green, mate. That's not at all. This is Syd Lawrence becoming our president. And he did a fantastic job. He brought so much new things to the table. He opened up a lot of areas that people were afraid to talk about.
He championed the underdog, you know, and I think that's another reason why I got on very well with him, you know, because I was always a little bit of an underdog, if you know what I mean, sort of thing, you know, or always getting in a bit of trouble or something, or saying the wrong thing at the wrong time or something like that. And, you know, he'd never, there was no judging, he'd never judge you, you know what I mean? And I think that when he got that opportunity with Gloucester, he thought it as something that he could really do good.
It finally seemed that Syd had the platform to do what he loved best, be the centre of attention and help as many people as he could.
Maybe one kid I can help, 2 kids I can help, just to show them that it is possible to make it, even though you have barriers in front of you, you can overcome those barriers.
Yeah, it's great to see a Gloucestershire lad back as president of the club that he played for. Syd, we wish you the very best of luck. Thanks so much for coming on the programme.
Thank you very much.
Life was good for Dave Syd Lawrence, but sadly, life isn't always fair.
Are we good? Okay, yes, keep it rolling. Just one more question and then we're done.
In the summer of 2024, Syd Lawrence's world was turned upside down. The Man Mountain, cut down by motor neurone disease.
This disease is like a sadistic disease. It's cruel.
He'd had a knee replacement operation, which didn't go very well, did it?
No.
Kept falling over. Like he fell down the steps outside, fell down the house steps. It was really, really bad.
He would still, no matter what, he would have to train. And he was in the change room, he was crying. And I said, "You all right?" And he said, no. He said, "I don't know what's wrong." He said, it's not getting better. And we both sat there and I was like, "Mate, it's okay." He said, "Oh, I'm going to counselling and stuff like that." He said, "Because we can't work this out." He said, "It's not," he was getting angry and frustrated. He's gone, I can't do it. I can't understand what's going on.
So we managed to get him this appointment, didn't we? And they kept him in. And he was in there for what, 4 months?
3 or 4 months, yeah.
Well, they were doing test after test after test. And they found MND in his tongue. And that was where it had started. So that's why he lost his voice quickly.
I mean, I guess, you know, there's plenty of terminal illnesses, isn't there? But one that's had such a public showing via some other, you know, the Rob Bowes journey, the Doddy Weir journey, to know that's going to happen to you, for Syd, a strong man in many uses of the word, physically, mentally, emotionally strong, loved life, loved dancing, loved sport, you know, to be told you're going to be crippled, you know, in the next 6 months. But even at that point, even then there was strength within him.
That September, Syd made his first public appearance since the diagnosis, watching his beloved Gloucestershire win the T20 Cup.
The club's president, Syd Lawrence, invited as a special guest, was there to witness the victory as he continues his fight against motor neurone disease.
I was really scared of what people's going to think of this big, strong guy who's not that big, strong guy anymore. When people see me for the first time, a lot of people don't know what to say. They struggle. I can see it on their face.
Well, it was devastating, absolutely devastating. And we had a Zoom call, Dawn and I, with Gaynor and Syd. Oh, God. No. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah. Yep. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Ah, dear. Just a minute, mate.
It just seemed, again, you go back to that injury, you know, someone so big and so strong and indestructible should be felled by a disease like that. It's a wicked thing. I exchanged some messages with him until clearly it became, I think, quite difficult for him to do that. And I know others. I know Tuffers went to see him, and that would have meant a lot to him. But it's just extraordinarily sad that it should claim any victim, but someone like David, particularly so.
I know I'm not going to see old age. I know that. So I would see the future is you just got to take it day by day. My hands, I can't use my hands anymore. And each time you've got to come to terms with that.
I don't think, for a chap like Syd, I don't think there could have been a worse disease, really, because it just sort of ate him away.
Despite the bleak future ahead, Syd was determined to fight on and use his platform to raise money for MND research.
He was like, right, I want to do it. And we were waiting. A few of us were like, does he want to do fundraising? Does he want to do, how does he want to do this? We think it would be good for him, but we were conscious of it needs to be his decision on his timeline when he's ready.
He struggled like anyone would, don't get it wrong. The first few months were tough. We had good group of friends and family, and who wanted to put something ahead of him to look forward to, and that's when all these ideas started coming out for the charity events and things.
An emotional welcome for the man so many hold so dear. In 6 short months, motor neuron disease has confined Syd Lawrence to a wheelchair, but not stolen his determination to fight on.
When times get tough, you see who your real friends are.
Come on! This is for you, Syd! All for you, big man!
Over the next few months, the fundraising and Syd's drive to raise awareness of MND gathered pace.
Motor neuron disease has taken many things from David Syd Lawrence, but not his love for Bristol and the people within it, nor their love for him, all too evident on a night he helped to organise to celebrate his love of music, dance and a good time.
This one's been a bit more personal to Dad. He's had more of an input and ideas about it, and it's all come together tonight, and I've already seen him smile more tonight than he has in a while, so it must be going well.
When we say, do you know Syd? People say yes, and we go, are you sure about that? And then they see him dancing and they go, and we go, why are you surprised? We're not. He's one of us, he's from us, and we love him.
Everyone really has got this desire to be here for him, you know what I mean? And I think everyone is now more aware of the disease than they were beforehand. I mean, in general, I think across society. And obviously tonight it's going to go a long way to improve that kind of understanding of the disease. Can't imagine Bristol without Syd, there's a few people I could say that about, and he's one of them.
By the summer of 2025, Syd had been honoured with an MBE and his life story published in a book. But his condition was visibly deteriorating.
Everyone sat here supporting this amazing event. What a great turnout. Have a drink for me. Love to you all.
This event in June would be the last time Syd is seen in public. 2 weeks later, the man who fought all his life lost his toughest battle.
He'd sort of stopped eating. He couldn't swallow for about the last couple of weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it was then the fluids didn't even go down either, and so we knew that it was going to be pretty soon after that.
He didn't have anything left in him. He was just hanging on really to see family and friends. It wasn't nice for him, and by the end, he even said he was ready.
Yeah, he was.
When I left Syd on that Saturday morning and I went outside, so funny, the sun came out, everything went still, everything was like stopped, and I looked up at the sky and I just thought to myself, this is the time for him to go. And when I had the phone call, I just thought of that stillness, as if everything stopped. And I thought, yeah, he knew he was going. In fact, he hung on to say goodbyes.
He really wanted to hang on to see his second granddaughter be born.
That's right, yeah.
Only barely turned 60 when all of this was going on, and he wanted to cut down on a lot of the work he was doing to enjoy family life, and he didn't get to do that, which is really sad, you know.
As David Syd Lawrence completed his final journey in the city he called home, hundreds came to celebrate him.
Big, bold and beautiful. And I'm so relieved that so many people saw what I saw and said, you know, he had so much to give.
A man who was, you know, a jack of all trades. He could make you laugh, he could make you cry. You know, he will stick up for you. You know, if he was on your side, you know, don't worry about anything. He will always be there. Very strong man.
He was probably one of my best friends. You know. Probably one of my best friends. If not, you know, one of my most trusted friends. Not just in cricket, but in life. You know, someone that you could always phone up and rely on to help you out if you needed it.
I will always remember David for commitment. Commitment, effort, energy, just striving to give it absolutely everything that you've got.
He was a larger-than-life character. You know, really, he was just one of those special people that come along every so often. He was definitely a trailblazer, but the big thing that sticks in my head is a perfect example of giving it your best shot and never giving up and giving it 100%. And in the world we live in, that's probably quite a good asset to have.
He was just lovely. He used to take the mickey out of himself, and he just enjoyed everything he did. He put over 100% in, and just have fun, didn't he? We always said we've had a great life. You know, we kept saying that when he was ill. We've done so much together. Yeah, it's good memories. Good memories. Mm.
My name's Buster, and this is my mummy, Layla.
Twins. You better looking at you, Dad. No way, yeah. Chest big, box big, ankles big. Gather around, listen to my champion song. Super tone, brand new top of the chart. I had a my time, oh yeah, I had a my time.